In the last Grant Tank barn find episode, we watched Ron flip the tank back over, hose it out, fix up a wheel station, drag it to the workshop, fix up some hinges, and got that turret ring spinning. If you've been enjoying watching him getting absolutely filthy and totally knackered on the tools, then you're in luck. There's plenty more of that to come.
Hi, I'm Kurt from Oz Armour and welcome to Workshop Wednesday.
If you've seen our previous restorations, you'll likely know a little bit about tensioning this track system, but you wouldn't have seen Ron get lathered up in tasty blue grease. Even though we won't be getting this vehicle running in the foreseeable future, we'll still need to tension the track once it's on.
You can see how the track can be adjusted tight. This is an offset cam axle, and as you put your adjusting spanner onto the back there and turn it, see how the axle actually comes out. It's a little exercise. Might push it in with it. Always put anti-seize on the shaft, not just the thread. There's so much material on the shaft it can actually bind up. If anybody's wondering, that's a normal thread, that's a normal thread, that's a left-hand thread jacking bolt. Don't get caught trying to undo that because it'll be doing it up. It's designed to do up and open up the split down the centre there. What they call this, mechanics glitter, gets everywhere.
That's what Darryl calls it.
Oh right.
Yeah.
If this was going to be a running restoration, we would be replacing and cleaning up these bearings, but the way it is now is okay for how far we're taking it.
So once I do this up, it'll pull it up. This is a spanner they made for the welded hole grant. Right, got to get this correct preload. That'll be nice. So I'll put the cover on there with a bit of grease behind it. So as you can see, the offset cam here, when you turn it, tensions the track. Then you lock them up. Yep, it's working nice. This locking plate has a notch cut out. Put that on the inside so that when it's knocked right in against there, there's a little gap there to put a wedge in there to get it started, to knock it back out again when you want to tension the tracks. They're easy as pie. It's a good, simple design, and they kept this right through to the end of the Sherman series.
It's time the final drives went on. We've taken the input shafts out of these to make it easier to get them on, but we'll keep them in a stowage bin for safekeeping.
Sit there, don't move. This one started. Stop. That's it. Now those three long ones are for there and there for the mud guards. Ta-da. One odd one out because the bolt shop didn't have the right amount of nuts.
Can't win them all.
Even though all 3 tanks we recovered from Victoria last year are in a really poor state, they came with nearly all of the larger components, like these stowage bins, to make them fairly complete. This is what Ron is moving on with next, along with other parts like the seat, tail shaft cover, and lots of other stowage bins.
Threads in these are normally pretty good.
Wow, that's not bad.
Yeah, they put a lead anti-seize in them from the factory. So that's the one good thing about American tanks is they kind of looked after us restorers in 80 years' time. Right, 137mm bin for a grant. It's mounted to the sponsored floor, but on the lee, it's mounted to the roof and it finishes about there because this is where the radio was in the lee, and that 7th crew member sat here on the sort of stowage boxes for the 30 cal ammo.
There is truly a colossal amount of information about these tanks, and indeed about any tank, but it never fails to amaze me how much of an expert Ron is. His knowledge, expertise, passion and enthusiasm bring a really delightful energy to the workshop.
This one. Best thing to blunt taps is cleaning out rusty holes. That shortens the lifespan of your tap considerably.
How good's that?
Taekwondo training.
Yeah?
You don't do huzzah! Well, these ammunition armoured bins, I strongly suspect are a part of the Australian upgrade, because every photo of a British grant I've seen, there's a 37mm ammo bin sitting here with the rounds pointing out this way, and it looks to me like the Australians removed that 37, made up this heavy duty armoured bin that takes 75, because the only storage for 75 was down here and that gives them that much more ammunition stowage. The interesting thing is the holes in here are slightly bigger than the holes in here, so that would indicate these are where they were storing the ammo in their cardboard shipping cartridges. When a round hits a vehicle, it creates kinetic energy, which is very hot, and anything can ignite, like gunpowders and all sorts of stuff. So that's why they made this an armoured bin, to prevent that, and probably why they stored them in their shipping tubes inside this armoured bin, to prevent that, because it's up off the floor, so it's more vulnerable and prone to be hit. This is the armoured bifold door. The reason it needs to be bifold is there's normally a recoil guard sticking out at the back of the 75 here. So to get the door open, he's got to roll it around, because he's pulling it out of here, taking it out of its transport tubes and re-stowing it here or into the gun.
We've got enough track to fit onto our Grants, but it's not really in the best condition.
Live track was designed by the Americans in World War II to make it a quieter track when running, and also it helps with increased speed and manoeuvrability, because the track kind of wants to curl around the wheels and around the sprocket. 80 years down the track, you encounter problems with dead links and rubbers worn and seized up and all that sort of stuff. So yeah, and now I kind of wish it was steel pin tracks. It's a lot easier to work with. Yeah, some of these links are too far gone. Live means it's curled up the way the track runs. Dead link means it's been forcefully bent back the other way, and that's kind of ruins all the rubber bushes inside. So this is a nice new old stock NOS set of E-block track that we've got from our storage facility to make up the deficiencies on the track that we're going to use. A lot of people call it different things, E-block, H-block, WWII block, but its correct name is WE 210 track link.
It was around this time that I had to take some unexpected time off and missed filming Ron replacing the dead links, but luckily Steve gave him a crash course on the GoPro and we managed to get some footage of the tracks being fitted. These little wedges Ron is fitting are what helps make the track live and gives it that natural springy curve. As he said earlier, it does give the vehicle a lot of performance benefits, but it's a real pain in the neck to work with, especially when it's over 80 years old.
Look how loose that is now. You can't assemble these tracks on the flat. You've got to set them at the live angle. The wedges go in, otherwise they'll, when they on their first run, when they go around the front and the rear wheels and sprockets, all these wedges will come loose.
we've gone as far as we can with fitting internal components. We've got to get this engine in now, and then the firewall cover. Should be covers, but we only got one cover at the moment. And then the drive shaft, and then once that's in, then you can start putting bins in over top of the drive shafts. And once all those are in, then you've got to put the turret basket in before you put the turret on. So as I see, you've got to think 10 steps ahead whenever you're working on one of these things.
This engine will need a really good check over if we ever wanted to make it a runner, but just for now, we're going to fit it snugly in its place.
We've still got another not far to go. I'm trying to find a spot where I can get in there without fouling everything. There you go. These are the parts that I was showing you on the first episode that I found in amongst all the junk on the ground. The anti-vibration mounts, that would go on top of there, and that goes under the forward engine mount. It's not gone too far. Once I'd lower it down, once I got the bolts started like this, and then I'll work on the front engine mounts. They're very close, they're only 10 mil pipe they're out. So, what am I going to do? Got to go. Right. So this, you can see the lip here, designed to sit on top of that mount to locate it and make fitting the engine a lot smoother out in the field. And they're going in nice now.
We're getting pretty close to the end of the build, but there's still the turret and rear decks to fit and more. But that's all we have time for today. Join us next Wednesday for your weekly tank restoration fix. So until then, I'm Kurt from Armour, and I'll see you on the next one.